Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max.
Welcome, everyone. We are the Geek Patrol, and our microphones don't have a stun setting. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my buddy Brandon Olmstead, and Brandon, we're going to react to a really interesting video, trailer.
It was a trailer, and it was, it probably will be one of my favorite watches. Of the year. I
get a sense this movie's going to make money. I think it's going to, for one thing, my generation's definitely going to go see this movie. So, but it's, folks, I'm sure you've seen it. It's called I Play Rocky. It looks cool, man. I mean, they kind of give the whole movie away in the trailer, but I don't care. It's
right. It's one of those movies that even if you know the entire story already, you can sit back and enjoy.
Right.
And if they couldn't have found a better kid to play Rocky or to play Sylvester Stallone.
What's this guy's name?
Anthony Ippolito. I'm probably butchering it, and I apologize to anybody out there because I have. But yeah.
He looks familiar, but I can't remember where I've seen him from.
He's Al Pacino in The Offer.
Wait, what? So he plays Al Pacino and Sylvester Stallone,
right?
Okay, at different. That's interesting.
I think that's the other thing. No, wait, no.
He had to put on weight.
I'm getting people confused. I have to. That can't be right.
All right,
guys.
Well, don't Google and talk at the same time.
I'm going to give them a little bit of a look behind the curtain. We've had technical difficulties all morning, so the fact you're getting a show is testament to me and Joe and our stubbornness.
That's true. Okay. All right. Whatever. Who cares? But
he plays Al Pacino in The Offer, which was the story it's a movie on Paramount Plus, and it was completely about the making of The Godfather.
Oh, now that's interesting. See, I'm getting more. It's like we're getting to a point now where learning the story behind the movie is sometimes more interesting than the actual movie.
It really is. Especially when it's a movie that we've all seen and is, it's held up as a cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah.
So
I think it won Best Picture. I know. I mean, it was right around the time you were born. As a kid, I remember it because it came out at the bicentennial, which is, I'm sure, why they're doing it now, because it's 50 years later. But I remember it as a huge deal. Everybody saw it multiple times, and it was the movie, and you had that music stuck in your head, and it was just cool, man. It was a big deal.
I believe the first time I saw Rocky was either on HBO or Showtime, one of the premium cable channels. And it was one of the first things I remember seeing on there, other than Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Funny you should mention that, because before we get into this, I just was, the thing is, we know that the 70s were pretty dark. I mean, crime was really bad. The economy was lousy. It was sort of a, whatever. The home design was ugly. And that's when we got pressboard siding on houses and things like that. But the thing is, and movies were very cynical. This movie, I have to wonder if this movie played a role in, was sort of a primer for Star Wars. Because remember, one of the things about Star Wars was how optimistic it is.
Yeah.
Well, this movie's the same way. This is a feel-good movie that came out in a very dark period of history the year before.
It very well may be the beginning of the tide turning as far as, any kind of media went, because you went from the whole "we live in a gritty city" to you too can make it to the top, and even if you don't win the bout, you still won for you.
Right. Yeah. Well, what do you? You said you were going to take me on a journey today.
I'm going to take you on a journey today.
Is it with Rocky?
No. It's more about. Well, I mean, I Play Rocky is going to be the catalyst for it. But I kind of want to look into the ideas behind what they portray there.
Okay.
We see in the trailer, the whole point of the title, I Play Rocky, was that was Stallone's, his one demand. If he sells them this script, which everybody seems to want the script, but they can only get it from him if he plays Rocky. And, they throw out, like they talked about Charles Bronson and stuff like that in the trailer. And,
Could you imagine that?
No, not even remotely.
Did they say Clint Eastwood?
They may have.
I mean, come on.
But here's the thing, it's like you get to see them offer him this much money and this much money. They come to his job where he's parking cars, and they want to, it's like, they're making offers, and it's like it doesn't matter how much money they offer unless he gets to play Rocky, he's not doing it. And of course, then the studio puts you can tell that they want him to fail so that they can redo it themselves.
Okay, is that what you got?
Yeah. I
wondered if that's...
they tell him, it's like, you can't go over budget, you can't get behind on schedule, you can't do this, you can't do that. And the moment that you do, we're taking it from you. And I mean, that is kind of look at today's society. Tell me that is not exactly how everything feels.
Right.
That if you don't do everything exactly right, there's going to be someone who's going to yank it away from you.
Well, it just, what I got out of that trailer too is the whole thing. We talk about this all the time about how often Suits and that they don't really know what they're doing.
And they don't care.
I mean, yeah.
It's like it's all about the money, and your passion be damned. It's like they don't care.
I get a sense though at the end of this they're gonna it'll be the whole thing of we'll see those guys that are I knew this would happen. I trusted you all along and all the other thing, and so
because that's the other thing about Suits is that no matter how much they throw things in your way, obstacles and all, when it's time to take credit, man, they take credit quick.
Yeah. It looks cool though. I mean, and I think there's still going to be a lot of revelations, but it sure looks optimistic and fun. To be honest, it doesn't look like it was that much. They spent that much money to make it.
No, which means
I don't see any big budget thing in that.
No,
trailer.
not really. I think the biggest expense was Matt Dillon as his dad.
Oh, that's Matt. Okay, that's Matt Dillon.
That's Matt Dillon.
I couldn't even.
It doesn't look like him.
I gotta go back and watch that. I thought he looked. I mean, I know he's not, but I thought he looked like what's his face from The Godfather. Anyway, whatever. Who's the lawyer from The Godfather? You know what I mean. But anyway, that's Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to go look at that. So, all right. Well, this has kind of got us thinking about biopics in general, or docudramas.
Docudramas. Yeah, it's like
Okay. All right. Let's explore more of that when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my buddy Brandon Olmstead, and I don't know. I feel like we're a little disjointed this morning, Brandon. We had technical issues.
So many technical difficulties coming in, so yeah. But we're still here, and we're still doing our due diligence as the Geek Patrol.
Well, I want to ask you something because, like I said, I grew up I was a kid when I was 10 when Rocky came out, and I remember very well the bicentennial was a big deal, and this movie was sort of a shift, and I just remember everybody saw it multiple times. My mom even watched this, and getting her to a mainstream movie is not,
it wasn't happening.
Somehow he crossed over where it appealed to everybody. This movie appealed to everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a boxing fan, but I liked it. But I'm wondering what your frame of reference is, because you were born literally a year after this came out. So, but what's your thing with the Rocky franchise?
Okay, so
I'm wondering.
So I'm guessing the one that really got me, and then and it may have been the first one I saw, was actually Rocky 3.
That's with Mr. T.
Right. And I'm a huge A-Team fan. I love Mr. T. He does this and that. And he shows up everywhere, and the gold chains and the mohawk and he was an icon.
He did a good job as a villain too. He's supposed to be a kind of a hero in real life, but
right.
He was a jerk there. Yeah.
And so,
what was his name? Clubber Lang.
Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
And of course, Hulk Hogan's as Thunder Lips, where they did the crossover, the boxer versus the wrestler thing, and it's like, but there's something about the Rocky movies, and whether it be Stallone, whether it be Carl Weathers, there's something that just kind of like, you can't watch a Rocky movie and then come away feeling like, well, that was a waste of time, and if you did, you didn't get it. There's just something about the character. No matter what he's going through, you are always pulling for him.
Right.
And then of course, he starts from, his roots are he's a low level, poor, Italian here in New York. He rises up
or
the ranks.
Philly.
Is he in Philly? Yes,
Yeah. I don't know if he's originally from Philly or New York, but I get the sense that he basically made it about his life.
Right, right. So he gets he doesn't, and the fact that even though he doesn't win in the end of the first movie, spoilers, people.
Yeah.
You still feel like he did. It's like, and then of course, he comes back in the second one, and he does his thing, and then him and why am I blanking on the name? Carl Weathers' character in.
Oh yeah, what is his name? Oh. We should be doing more research. Okay, whatever.
It's been a long morning.
Yeah, but
then of course he they become friends. He helps him train to take out Clubber Lang in the third one, and then of course Ivan Drago he kills him in their match, and then of course. So Rocky IV is all about, it's about avenging your friend, but also doing it in a just way. And, and then you've got everything kind of goes downhill from there, because at the beginning of 5, he's got he's taken the brain damage from all the hits he's done. And Paulie loses all their money, and,
That's right. And I've got to be honest, 5 was the one that didn't do as much for me, because I think it didn't have the same. Well, for one thing, it was too many years went by.
It's like, well, at that point, 5 is very much a downer.
Yeah.
But then it shows that in the end, you still you stand up for who you are and who you believe in, and you take the fight to the streets. And Tommy Gunn, which was his rival in that one, was this young upstart. And then you got Rocky Balboa, which is the 6th one, where he's retired, and people are wanting to know, it's basically like, oh, you can't, you couldn't do it again. So he laces up the gloves and he gets back in the ring with a young upstart. And then of course, he doesn't win, but he proves he could still do it. And then we get into the Creed movies, and all of those are good. And it's like
Apollo Creed.
Apollo Creed was
There's the name.
It's like because I kept wanting to call him Adonis, but that's Michael B. Jordan's character.
Right.
But the whole movie series, from Rocky through Creed 3, is just it's one of those there's, even when it gets negative, there's still a positive message there.
Yeah.
And that's like to not give up.
I guess what I'm thinking, though, is going back to the first Rocky movie, is I just think of the risk in the, I don't know, to me, it just shows a real, I think what made it novel is the fact that he didn't win, because you're expecting, okay, well, this is going to be some Cinderella story, he'll win. But then again, I don't know, maybe that's what made the movie great, was that he didn't win.
Right.
And I don't know that he was even thinking of sequels or anything like that. I get the sense he was just happy that he got his movie.
He got to make his movie.
So the fact that he didn't write this character as winning, I find that really interesting.
And it really would resonate with today's audiences, today's society in general, is that it shows you that it doesn't matter, you can put all the work into it in the world, but it's okay if you don't succeed. Because you put in the effort, you win 100%, and you don't give up.
What's okay? So Burgess Meredith is his. What is that guy's name? Boy, we're not doing any research, but this guy.
That was Mickey.
Okay, Mickey. He's a seasoned actor. This guy is, very well respected in Hollywood. I wonder what that was like. I hope we're going to see some of that behind the scenes stuff, because you got basically, Sylvester Stallone at this point.
Well, we
who's
have
a complete rookie. Barely has any acting experience, and then he's working up against this kind of Hollywood legend. I wonder what that's like behind the scenes.
Well, I mean, we know that there's an actor that is portraying Burgess Meredith, and Talia Shire, and the guy who played Paulie, who for some Bert.
I never liked Paulie. I guess you're not supposed to like Paulie.
No, he's kind of a sleazebag.
Yeah, but it looks like it's going to be great, man. And I hope they don't. I think we've gotten enough. No more trailers. No more giving it away, because I know there's going to be some surprises, and we want to find out about that. But we're going to continue to explore it when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my buddy Brandon Olmstead, and we're talking about, well, among other things, I guess, docudramas, biopics. The new movie, I Play Rocky, is coming out this November. I don't usually guarantee stuff, but how can this movie not make money? I think it's going to hit intergenerational.
Well, I also think it was probably shot on a budget where if you accidentally walk into a movie theater, it's going to make money.
Yeah,
but I think there are going to be people in the way.
Lower budget movies. I don't even know what studio made this, but it just, I don't know, man. It looks super interesting.
Peter Farrelly's directing it, so of the Farrelly brother fame.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they matched his dog pretty well. I mean, because that dog is, I'm not going to give it away, because if you don't know the story, that dog actually plays a major role in this story behind the scenes. So that's kind of cool too. So, but I don't know, man. Well, Brandon, I like docudramas, but then sometimes I hate them.
Well, I mean, it really
some are better than others.
Really depends on what the subject matter is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to, I don't need something like the positively true adventures of the alleged Texas cheerleader murdering mom.
Wait, what?
Okay. Those who know know.
Title, man.
It was based on a true story about a woman who took a hit out on her daughter's cheerleading rival.
Come on, that's not real.
It's real. It really happened, and Lifetime made a movie, and it's got the most ridiculous title ever, and those kind of things are just like they're ludicrous as far as entertainment value. I'm a true crime guy. I would rather watch a documentary on a true crime thing than a docudrama, because Netflix did one on Ed Gein recently, and they basically sensationalized the character. This is a guy who murdered women and robbed graves for and.
Okay,
but you give me something where, like this, where it's about it's a struggling actor. He wrote a script. He wrote a script in 3 days, and he's doing what he has to do to get it made. I'm down with that. If I'm going to watch a biopic, I want it to be as close and accurate as possible. But there's so many times where people take it outside, and it's like, then you have everybody coming back and go, that's not how that happened. This didn't really happen. But you also kind of realize why so many biopics are only done after someone has passed away.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you get things like Better Man, which would normally not have actually interested me, but I love that movie.
Well, we should say, that one about Robbie Williams, who apparently is huge in Europe. He's not very big here, but we talked about that. If you didn't hear that episode, folks, it's the one where he basically is portrayed as a giant lifelike chimpanzee, which sounds stupid, but it actually is awesome.
It works.
The CGI is actually really good on that.
Because it's always been apparently that he's referred to himself as not quite evolved.
Right.
So.
Well, I want to ask you about music ones, because here's my thing. It's almost like textbook. Okay. It's pretty much universal. You watch a biopic about some music, a band that hits it big,
right?
And you can sort of tell. Okay, they come from nothing, they get their big break, they have all this fame. You already know what's going to happen. They're going to make all these dumb decisions. They're going to do drugs. They're going to ruin their family life. They're going to almost die, and they're going to somehow, maybe by the end, have some sort of learning lesson, or they just, I don't know what, but it's a very predictable storyline, even Better Man had that storyline.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of tired of those, honestly, because I think that's what I like about this I Play Rocky. For one thing, it looks unique and it looks optimistic.
And it's not a biopic, you know, because it's not about Sylvester Stallone's life. Mm-hmm. It is literally about the one part that we, you know, where he's trying to get this movie made.
Right.
And, you know, some of the stuff that's in the trailer, I mean, that stuff is, I mean, it, like when he breaks his hand.
Yeah. Hitting the beef.
Hitting the meat.
Yeah.
And it's like we've all seen that scene over and over again. But the fact that, you know, they
gave you something new.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, I saw Michael, and Michael definitely is set up so that there's going to be another one because it only goes so far into his life. But that's a biopic.
Yeah. Although they said they sanitized it a little, right?
Well, yeah, they did. There's definitely some. It's more respectful than your typical biopic.
Right.
You know, it's like, I mean, you know, and when Austin Butler played Elvis in Elvis, you know, that one's really good too. But you can also, as a Memphian, you know a little bit more about the story, and you know that they don't get into some of the, you know, the gritty parts.
Yeah. I started that movie and I didn't finish it. I found it like, is it like overly stylized or something? 'Cause I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't. Yeah. What are they going for here? So. Well,
everybody feels they got to put their, you know, their signature look to a thing, and I think that's what they were going for. And it's a good movie, but it's a lot of flash when it should be more substance.
Well, that's the trick, I feel like, with a lot of these things, because it's like, okay, one of the best biopics I saw recently in the last couple of years was Becoming Led Zeppelin.
Right,
well,
you told me about that one.
Yeah, the band Led Zeppelin obviously had a lot of very tragic things happen. You know, Robert Plant's son died at a young age. John Bonham died, you know, and all this. But they didn't focus on that. They basically, they acknowledge it, but what they focused on was the art of making music and the business of making music. And it's one of the most optimistic movies I've ever seen. And it's super fascinating. And I'm like, I want more of that. You don't have to just follow the cookie cutter, I don't know what, outline for, if you're going to do a rock band documentary, even a band like Led Zeppelin that had all this drama and tragedy. Well, that's not the only thing that happened in their career.
See, I'm not looking forward to this new Beatles thing that they're doing where it's like 4 movies and, you know, it's like, why do I need 4 movies?
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
Is that like a Disney thing or something?
I'm not sure exactly what's going on with it, but yeah, they're doing 4 separate films.
Okay. Well, when we come back, maybe we could talk about some of these other biopics, because there's a couple. There's some series that actually they're really good. They're optimistic but also brutally realistic.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Dorderson here with my buddy Brandon Olmstead, and we're talking, we're talking about docudramas, biopics, things like that today. And maybe, especially with this new trailer that came out for I Play Rocky, that's going to be a great movie. But we always, you know, while we're on 98.1 The Max, it's natural to stray into music biopics, but there's some good ones, you know.
Right. Yeah, I mean...
But I just don't want the I want something different. I guess that's why we liked Better Man.
Right.
It was different.
It was different. It told the very familiar story of get famous, get rich, do stupid things, eventually work your way back.
Right.
But like I was saying before the break, I'm not, the next one that I'm gonna watch, that I know I'm gonna watch, but I'm not really looking forward to is the Beatles 4-film event that they're doing. You know, it's like, again, I'm getting 4 movies, each from a different member's, perspective. But it is the first time that Apple Corps and, the band members that are surviving and the estates of those who aren't have signed over full rights.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping for good stories, but at the same time, I don't want to watch 2.5 hours, then 2.5 hours, then 2.5 hours, and finally another 2.5 hours from the same story from different perspectives. I think you can do this as one movie.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. Are you saying that they made? gosh, so the Beatles did make 4 movies. Honestly, I can't even say I was a big fan of the movies.
Well, I mean, they
and then they.
Well, no, this is something that Sam Mendes is doing for it comes out in 2028, and each one of these is literally like the story of the Beatles from John Lennon's perspective.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
it's like okay, it's the Hard Day's Night or whatever. We're gonna hear from Ringo's recollections or something like that, and then this one is from. But somewhere they had to get some footage of George Harrison and John Lennon talking about it.
These aren't documentaries. These are dramas. These are fully made movies.
Oh, I see.
You got actors playing the characters. Yeah, playing the Beatles. I mean, it's like,
it's different. I'll give them that.
I mean, it is, and it's ambitious.
4 movies, they're committing to that right out of the gate.
But it's just like, I don't know if am I gonna be excited when it comes out? Probably. After I watch the first one, am I gonna really be all like, yeah, let's go watch it's like, all right, I saw McCartney, let me go see Harrison. All right, now we're gonna go see Lennon. By the time I get to Ringo, I'm going to be like, no.
Okay, that was my question. So are you saying they're launching all 4 at once?
April 2028, all 4 movies are supposed to come out.
That's different. In the theaters?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we said we want something different. That's different.
We want something different, but I don't know if I need 4, like Lord of the Rings style epics about the Beatles. I think I could do with just one, and you intersplice, where you bounce back and forth from the different perspectives. But why? I mean, it's just.
I think this is finally something that's interesting to me. It reminds me of when, folks, if you don't know, back in our day, Kiss, basically all 4 members put out an album where they were like, I don't know, they were the singers, they wrote the songs, and they released them all at once.
And the only good one was Aces.
Yeah. And which is ironic. So,
no, because
they sold a lot of albums, right?
Ace Frehley was awesome.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Okay, well, hey, we wanted something different. This sounds so, man. I wonder if they'll have like ticket packages. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure you'll be able to get you'll be able to get a package where you get 4 passes. Each one of the passes has a different one of the Beatles on it. And you go and you redeem them at your local theater to see that movie. And I'm sure you'll also be able to buy all-day event tickets where you go in at noon and then you come out at the end of the day with a numb rear end and way more popcorn butter stains on your shirt than you ever meant to have.
Yeah, the binge package. Okay. Sponsored by Depends Undergarments, because you got to wear the.
Can you imagine the popcorn bucket?
I don't know. It's
a giant square bucket, and on each side you've got a different album cover.
We've never gotten anything like this, have we?
No. It's definitely unprecedented, but
I actually like this.
I mean, I'm tired of living in unprecedented times. Give me something a little bit weird and different, but let me have it in a normal setting.
I guess I'm wondering how you do that. Like, so you wonder if it's just mostly, okay, well, this is the George Harrison movie, so they show what's like when he goes home from the set, right. And he is I don't know.
It's like
could be very interesting.
I'm sure there'll be chunks of the movie that hit at around the same mark as everything else, where all 4 of them are doing a thing, and then they go off and they go home, or they try they get into fights, because we know Paul and John are going to get into fights, and then of course Paul McCartney's got to die at least once, so.
Oh, yeah. I think this could be really good because, that Let It Be documentary on Disney Plus, it was hard. I mean, it was mostly just because it was so long.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but at one point, George Harrison literally quit the band on camera. It's like, okay, I think I'm going to quit right now. And he literally just walked off. Then they had that behind the scenes with John and Paul talking about, this has probably been coming a long time, and how did we mess this up, and all. So it would be interesting to see from everybody's point of view. And I guess Ringo was just the peacemaker. He didn't bother anybody. He was just kind of the, he went along and he worked hard and he did his job. And so I actually think this is cool. What is it called? It's just
it has a name. Hold on just one second. It is The Beatles, a 4-film cinematic event.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
I feel like they need a little. And then, I mean, is it just called John, Paul, Ringo, and George or something?
No, It doesn't have it. I'm sure that each one of them will have like it'll probably have the the byline that says which one it is.
Coming when?
But, April 2028.
Oh, 2028.
You got
okay,
Harris.
we got a little
You got Harris Dickinson as John Lennon.
Yeah.
Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney. Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things as George Harrison, also from Fantastic Four, and Barry Keoghan, who was in the Eternals, and he plays Joker in the Batman.
He's getting some
as
wow.
Ringo.
Okay, I'm actually enthused about this. I hope they don't ruin it, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Brandon, the show's over. We got to go. So until next week, we are the Geek Patrol, and I am Joe Thorderson.
And I am Brandon Olmsted, saying goodbye as soon as we said hello.
Oh, I get it.